of the Premier Circuit Major 2 live from San Antonio, Texas. My name is Quinn, better known as Colorblind, joined with Zep, and we have a clash of legends, quite literally. Legend 6 Gold taking on Legend 6 White here today, and this is going to be a fun one, and the maps are really interesting, Zep.
Yeah, the maps are incredibly interesting, which I'm sure we are about to get into. But man, both of these teams playing against each other. The Legends of 6 crew, Gold versus White. Who is going to come out on top as we take a look at the rosters here? Super interested to see how this one is going to go. Got a chance to cover both of these teams before. But honestly, I wouldn't have a clue in saying which way this is going to go. It could be quite an evenly contested affair.
Yeah, no, I mean, between the players, Marco is definitely a player to look out for on Legend 6 White. My production staff has given us some really, really good statistics, and if those statistics are entirely right, everyone on Legend 6 Gold has over 100 kills in that round robin rotation set. So they are all fraggers, all things considered, but it's going to be very interesting. We're taking a look at our maps here, Subbase, to kick things off on Hardpoint, and that's the interesting one that we talked about. Not necessarily the most what would we say, played map in terms of the map set, maybe.
Well, you know, I'm going to come out with a little bit of a hot take here. I know it's not the most played, but I quite like a Subbase Hardpoint. I know it's not a fan favorite, and I get that the spawns are a bit awkward on the map, but look, it's a larger map, largely favors sort of like an AR dominated role. You're really trying to get control of the top areas of the map. The hills are incredibly separated from each other. You have some real strong points to hold along with some points that can be slightly more mixy. I think it's one of those maps that really rewards you for the efforts of locking down a spawn or doing a job on a point. It's not one of those maps where you can make a mistake and then just be able to hop straight back on it like it means nothing. What you do matters in every instance on the map, so there's no room for mistakes on a Subbase, and that's where, you know, both of these teams are going to have to start off strong and try and be as flawless as possible, because otherwise a team's going to get in here, and if they're warmer, they're going to start chaining some hills early.
Yeah, and those hills, very, very interesting to see. It's a long rotations as well, as you alluded to, a larger map, so longer rotations. So it's going to be interesting as both of these teams have to hit that left foot, right foot express. But then we go into that 6-star search and destroy another more newer map, and it should be interesting to see where we get taken to with that. Invasion will be our middle ground, the control, before we head into a Vista and Rio, if we need them, which I mean, both between these two teams, they are neck and neck. It's going to be very interesting to see which team will come out. And as you alluded to, once again, that Subbase Hardpoint, it is very imperative that you get off on that right footing. And if you don't, I mean, things can fall apart at the seams.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's going to be the story of these first 3 maps. You know, Subbase Hardpoint, just incredibly tactical, incredibly like, play your timing, play your placement perfect, and make sure you win your gunfight. You have to make sure to play your life. 6-star Search and Destroy, a map that's very similar, and like all Search and Destroys, playing your life is important, but then an Invasion Control, even though it is a wide map, it can be a little more mixy, as you know, you're either going to bomb towards an A or a B incredibly quickly and try and get a quick cap on something, but it can be a tactical affair later on in the map in terms of how you work around the setups of how a team or how your opposition sets up. So ultimately, I think it's just going to be a set of the first 3 maps, at least, where it's incredibly open, it's incredibly tactical, and who is going to be the team that sort of dominates and gets that map control first, I think is going to be the difference maker.
Yeah, that tactility parlays very well into the next map, that S&D. It's going to be very interesting. Again, which team will come out on top in this map number 1? I feel like having that Subbase Hardpoint thrown into the mix, although it's not necessarily the most common starting Hardpoint map, you start to get a little bit more information on between these two teams, which one is potentially operating on more of a tactical level, which parlays very well into that S&D. Let's cut the yap and let's jump on in to the fragging. Let's get it going. Legends of 6 Gold, Legends of 6 White. Who's the real legend here today?
And Legends of 6 White initially on the hill to begin with, and are they going to be able to hold out against the initial wave? Marco Stallion with 2, Mansions with 1, but Danny Mac coming in with 2 of his own, and you know, very good start. Ultimately, Legends of 6 White though just holding on to that point to begin with and getting those all-important seconds, as already the gold side will be looking to make their way over towards that P2 and get some spawn control, but Marco Stallion is holding out on that side.
Yeah, you really look towards Marco to get this team started early on. He's potentially going to be this team's anchor, especially in that AR role. You look for him to really get this team clicking early in the map set. Turning our attention over towards that second hard point, which is exactly where Legends of Six Gold are trying to occupy. But you have Jaden sitting in this ratty little corner. Will the timing be in his favor? No, it will not. And that gives a lot of room for the gold players to work with.
Yeah, the gold players having a good moment now to get some time and causing the white side to spawn out. Meaning we're about to see how the white side's breaking power is going to be. We've seen them hold, but how are they at pushing into hills? We're about to see as we're on board with Mansions, who picks up one against Drew, and Jaden managed to pick up one as well. Cheeseburger's going to try and get in and help out his side, but so far the kill's going towards the side of white as they look now to be getting this time and also getting the right spawns, but they're going to want to flip them again very quickly, as Marco Stallion already onto that, trying to get pushed out the mid, but Drew going massive as Legends of Six Gold will be able to get that scrap, I think, just about get the majority of the time, as now it looks like they also have the spawns held as well. You can see the position that Cheeseburger is taking up towards that P3 side. Could pick up a massive couple of kills here.
Yeah, White are going to have to use the last 10 seconds here to try and flip these spawns in any which way that they can. P3 coming online. Drew will be the first line of defense here, getting early, getting active over towards the side of the site. First kill on the board, but Marco rounding the corner once again. 2 kills on the board for him. Completely flips the tides the way of the white players. And that is a seamless break out of them. That has been time and time again thus far in the early stretch what we have seen. They have those breaks and they get them seamlessly.
Yeah, Legends of Six White are looking very strong on those kind of individual breaks, that 1v1 gunfire power, but Legends of Six Gold are also able to answer back with moments of their own where they do get threes down and get in and get on a point, and ultimately here they're able to get in, get it contested a bit, but it is the white side who are managing to hold out the majority of this time, as it's now 43 to 83, a 40-point gap as we get ready to rotate onto this next point, of which Legends of Six Gold do seem to be holding out on, as we are on board with Cheeseburger absolutely popping off there with a 2, as Legends of Six White are going to have to go in and break again. It has been the gold side who have been seemingly better with the rotations thus far, but not able to utilize those rotations as strongly as they would like to be.
Now the question becomes, will this be the opening that the gold players need, or will this be yet again another script that we have seen time and time again, where Marco gets active early on, gets a couple of key kills to go their way, and Legends of Six White break on in. Danny Mac, though, will shut down Marco, at least for the time being, so hold on. No, it's a full white feed, and we have seen this script take place once again. That being said, though, gold, they do have the spawns to recontest this very, very quickly. They have to get the kills to start going their way. Mansions with a Kobe will take the first kill on the board. Checkered out by Danny and Cheeseburger, but still White holding very strong, at least in the early set.
Yeah, it's one of those hills that can be hard to hold from the front, but if you can just catch them push back far enough, you're almost spawn trapping them, because you know the head glitches are where they're going to try to push from, but ultimately they eventually lose out and gold get back on the point, but for barely any time. A 60-point difference now, as Legends of Six White again just doing such a good job from such disadvantageous positions, I would say. So Legends of Six Gold have been setting themselves up well, but again, as we've talked about before, not fully utilizing it. So if Legends of Six White get a little bit stronger on these rotations and maybe able to either break in quicker or hold the spawns themselves, they can be setting themselves up to run away from this game, and run away with this game. And that seems to be the case here, as they have complete control of this P5, forcing the gold side to go wide to try and get a look in, as this point gap could very easily go over 100 on this hill.
Back and forth we go in the feed to kick things off, and getting a lot of good time on the board is, again, going wide. It's going to give just a little bit more time for White to continue to stack up the points on the board. Kills as well, just continuously going their way, absolutely out-fragging Legends of Six, as none of the players going positive on that side of the coin. Now trying to break on into the hill once again. Noel will just continue to be that force that you cannot do anything about. Legends of Six will finally find the break in, but time is going to have to be of the essence here as P1 pops online, and they have to hold it here and now. They cannot have room for error.
Absolutely, but something that they can maybe reconcile with here, Legends of Six Gold, is that it's, again, potentially a chainy map if you can start to establish some dominance. If they can rotate well from this point over towards P2, they can hit at least 100 points and get themselves right back in this game. But you already look over to the side of Legends of Six White and you look at Jaden, who's gone round the back to try and flip these spawns and is now pushed in towards the hill and nearly picked up two, getting the two before being taken out by Drew. Not staying back to play for the spawns ultimately, but still, Marco Stallion on this point, 15 and 12, holding it down, keeping that point gap strong. And I think Legends of Six White are realizing now that they don't even need to be focusing that much on rotations because they know they have the gun skill and the stronger breaking power. As we're seeing, body shot, 16 to 12 in over a minute in hill. He can justify that body shot. He's been popping off so far this map.
Jaden just crossed Drew up on the hill. My goodness. This is becoming a bloodbath as Legends of Six 1 point away from breaking into that 100-point barrier, but it looks like the white players are going to break into the 200-point barrier before that can even happen. I eat my words ever so slightly, but it's still very, very close. Legends of Six Gold have to scramble to make something out of nothing here. They finally do get that break, but it's just a matter of time, it feels like, until Legends of Six White will be able to capsize on the point and get some players on in, get the time on the hill they are searching for here and now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this next point is going to be the killer over towards P3. A very difficult spot to break. What we've seen Legends of Six White break it already, and now they're going to have the opportunity to hold it. So Legends of Six Gold need to show some breaking power here. They've gotten pushed in, and they've actually managed to get that spawn flip. I don't know how that's worked out for them, but it has. Maybe a little bit of luck from the COD gods as Cheeseburger picks up two, and Buddha now on a 4 streak. Legends of Six Gold doing just about enough here to get themselves back into this map as they're beginning to slay out just a little bit more. The KD starting to look positive. Cheeseburger and Buddha 17 and 15 and 17-16 respectively. The numbers going more towards their side, but they need to keep this up. They cannot take their foot off the gas pedal because one solid hold from the white side and that will be game, set, and match for this map.
Cheeseburger and Drew, they have to go big here, and now Mansion's first kill on the board, and now Legends of Six White looking to capitalize and get in on this point once again, but Drew continues to stay alive in the point. Cheeseburger able to rotate on in. Jaden flying in from above, though, will eventually grant the way of Legends Six White. Mansions will solidify it as well, breaking into that 200-point barrier, looking to collect that scrap. Danny Mac, though, will deny it. Now we turn our attention over towards the next hill. Once again, Gold has the rotation. They have those spawns in their favor as well. They still are not out of this by any stretch of the imagination. The white players collecting that scrap will buy a little bit more time for Gold to solidify and anchor down on this point, and Cheeseburger is absolutely frying in the feed as well.
Yeah, Cheeseburger with a massive triple, and then Danny Mac finishing it off for that 4 down. The holding power finally showing for Legends of Six Gold, who really struggled with up until the last few points, as they have Legends of Six White pushed back, and that complacency on the rotations of the white side beginning to pay dividends now, as Legends of Six reached that 180 point on the goal side and 217 to White, who are quickly finding themselves less and less in the lead as this time runs down. But Legends of Six have to keep this going all the way. 1-4 down and they're in big trouble, and Marco with 2, that is 3 down, as it is going to be up to Danny Mac to try and cover this point, and it looks like he's going to be able to. But now it's the rotation to the P5, which again I think Legends of Six Gold are set up well for, but Mansion's going big over there. There's a massive wave of kills.
2 kills on the board for him, but a next player up who has to make something happen here and now. Otherwise, the hill is completely flipped, and Legends of Six White could potentially finish it out here. And now the question is, though, do they expect Buddha on this point? No, they do not. Jaden drops, and Mansions will fall as well. A checkerboard feed, and nobody is making that time, at least for the time being, as they scramble on into the point. Now it's the Legends of Six Gold who are going to be able to make it there, at least for the time being. First on the hill is Legends of Six White. It's Marco Stallion, Jaden. They have to go big. They have to solidify this. 20 seconds needed to grant themselves map number 1. Jaden and Marco in the feed to kick things off. Buddha drops as well, and this could be it.
Yeah, that looks like it's game, set, and match. They just held well from the front. Legends of Six White, they had the spawn side that they wanted. They just wrapped around, then got control, and ultimately were able to do enough to potentially see this one through. Only 5 seconds needed, 10 seconds left, and Mansion sitting on the point. That should be that, as he'll pick up Cheeseburger, and Legends of Six White take this map number 1 way closer than they would have liked it to be, which, you know, massive credit to Legends of Six Gold for pulling it back. But ultimately, left themselves too much to do.
Yeah, it just came down ultimately to the fact that Legends of Six White, they got out to that early lead, and even though it started to look a little bit close in the downstretch there, which proves that Legends of Six Gold, they do have a little bit of resilience to where you can never count them out. Ultimately, it just wasn't the start that they needed. You take a look at the frags as well. I mean, Marco, we highlighted him very briefly in the early stretch. This man was absolutely cooking on this map to kick things off, and there you have it. A 60-point differential gives Legends of Six White the early nod in the series, but we still have a lot of action to go. But we did say that maybe Subbase is a little bit more indicative of how a 6-star S&D could go than maybe another hardpoint map, did we, Zap?
Yeah, absolutely.
Really where things start to get dicey between two teams. 6-star S&D coming up. We're going to take a swim potentially. I hate the pool. I hate the pool on this map.
Yeah, listen, everyone hates the pool. I mean, look, as the map in terms of a location would be a lovely place to stay, but a place to play, not so much. But look, both of these teams probably going to be trying to avoid that water as best as they can. I'm sure they'll be able to, given the bomb placements now on this map as we load in and get it started. But I'll be very curious to see how these teams play against each other. I feel like it'll be a lot of back and forth. And hey, everything we've talked about, the links between that map 1 and map 2, S&D, it's a different beast. So let's see how they tame it.
Nades out, guns out, let's get it going. Cheeseburger with some early shots early on, trying to solidify that early dominance, get that presence, get that aura started on this map for Legends of Six Gold. But Jaden will be the first kill on the board, immediately traded out by Buddha. Keeps things down to a 3v3 as the attention over towards that B side at least halted for the time being.
Yeah, they're slowing it down, which is exactly what you need to do with the B side, but fantastic pick from Mansions, who gets rotated out well. And just getting that pick and dipping is a great way to play the Search and Destroy as Marco Stallion comes in for another now at 3v1, and Cheeseburger, the last left alive, trying to rotate back to A. Seems to have successfully called this rotation, but it's going to be late to the site regardless, and Cheeseburger has a lot to do from this point.
Not much going there, especially when Marco is smoothing and grooving to kick things off. And once again, early hot start for the white players. Question then becomes, will they be able to chain that into a defensive round, really get that snowball started, or will the gold players be able to mirror them out?
Well, I suppose we'll just have to wait and see as we load into round number 2. I think Legends of Six Gold, look, they are going to want to answer back. The last thing that they're going to want to do after how hard they fought on that map number 1 is let things change and sort of, or change, should I say, and sort of go against them after all the hard work they did to pull back. They want to make sure that they keep in this one, because if they start to feel themselves later on in a map in general, they know that they'll grow into this series. They just want to give themselves enough of a distance to do that.
This is a very aggressive approach. Marco will eventually be taken down, but not before he's able to get one on the board. Still, the aggression over towards B is definitely something you want to mention. Legend of Six, they know that they have to get things going. They're going to get aggressive to do exactly that. Player personnel advantage going their way. Jaden does not check the corner and does not get the kill to go as well. So we even things out 2 apiece. Now the retake for Legends of Six White is on. Buddha, the first line of defense in, rounding the corner. Jaden will find his way into the point. Not expecting is Buddha. Turns to a 1v1. The chase down is on. Mansions has to deal with him, but the time is ticking away. He's got to get that bomb defused. He's not going to have enough time. Legends of Six Gold mirroring it out with an attacker side round of their own.
The Legends of Six White doing a great job of picking up that initial kill, but Danny Mac getting the kill and dipping just about, knowing that clock was working in his favor, and ultimately seeing out that round well. Legends of Six Gold getting that B bomb plant, running down that clock, and not much more you can really ask for in terms of a response, keeping it competitive here going into round 3.
Tied up 1 apiece. Now the question starts to become, hey, which of these teams be able to snag a defensive-sided round? We've seen both of them swing back on the attacker side. The aggression out of Legends of Six Gold is something, again, that we want to highlight here, because it shows a level of urgency. It shows a level of wanting to cement themselves and wanting to potentially gain a one-upper. Checkerboard in the feed to kick things off. Now a 2v2. Bomb is down as well. Legends of Six White will be able to recover.
Marco Stallion done a great job of picking up that initial kill with the Renetti, but unfortunately then being taken out. 2v2, 50 seconds left on the clock. This round has stagnated massively. Both teams just kind of waiting for that little bit of a push. You can see the mid-map control from the gold side, white side, not feeling fully confident at A, thinking of wrapping around to the B. That could be to the detriment of them there, as I believe Cheeseburger will have eyes, but I think Drew, what side is he going moving towards? It looks like they're still going to stick together in mid. This has turned into an incredibly tactical affair. Is there going to be a bit of COD timing in hand here?
Yeah, it's absolutely guaranteed to be some COD timing, and Cheeseburger with the prone is not going to catch them over towards B, but he will get the sound cue, so now the attention over towards B, it is granted. Legends of Six White, though, they have the opportunity to set up. They don't know that it's just going to be a straight-out mid-assault. Cheeseburger around the corner, first kill on the board, but now they know where he is. Mansions unable to capitalize on the 2, and Cheeseburger with 2 kills on the board will just about do it for the side of Legends of Six Gold. What a way to clutch up for the boys.
Yeah, it was a bit interesting from Legends of Six White. They'd done all that rotating, getting the bomb down, and then went to look towards spawn rather than at least getting an initial peek out in mid when they completely avoided mid, and it would have been more of a more likely point of contact. I would argue. So interesting that they didn't look to that point straight away. It ultimately worked to their detriment, but maybe they were worried about that back spawn push, thinking that perhaps it was just an ultra defensive setup towards the back spawn. But regardless, Legends of Six Gold played it well. They were patient, waited for that bomb to go down, expertly retook the site, and now have an offensive round of their own.
Now an offensive round, now the lead. Let's take a listen in with the Legends of Six Gold. Hear those comms.
We don't have to play this. We don't have to play this. Let's just wait. Let's just wait. Hold this.
Wait, somebody broke glass. He jumped in gold. He jumped in gold. He broke glass.
Heard that.
Have her pinch.
Close off. You might jump at me.
Mid.
One's above me, like close right.
Let me know when you got blue. Jeez.
Yeah,
Give it
I
up.
gave up.
I'm injured.
You want to chow this close right?
Hold on, I'm gonna go top. Cracking the door so it's not loud. I'm about to slide chow it.
3, 2, 1. I don't see you right.
Right heady. Right side you heady. Left side you
Left
heady.
heady.
You weak.
Flashing out, flashing
Hold
out.
on, behind Marco.
The other trophy.
Never mind. There's 2 going open.
Left side statue hurt.
Two open. Well, Marco.
You know one's right. We know one's right.
Mid.
We gotta go back.
Heard that. I'm gonna stay here. You one shot. He sees mid smoke. Both there. Both were you.
Noel's gonna be close on you. Might be in gold here. Or you, close up corner. Yep. He's gonna be close. He's gonna run away. My God, he actually. Oh my, it's all good. My bad, bro. I can't.
Slow and methodical, but ultimately it's not enough in terms of the gunny. Legends of Six White will take the round, and those comms, all things considered, very, very good, but it just goes to show how much of an impact COD timing can have. As Marco Stallion posted up, will take the round.
Yeah, COD timing can play a massive part, and a lot of these rounds as well are running very late on. Both of these teams being incredibly patient with each other as they just try to find a road in to maybe dominating this map. But so far, I think it's just been so incredibly back and forth from both of these teams. Neither one really getting a foothold in this map and chaining anything together, as once again we're seeing a back and forth from an aggressive mid push. But so far, 3v2 for Legends of Six White. Make that 3v1.
Marco is
make that
playing his
3v1.
role. Marco is playing his role so unbelievably well. He sets the tone in every single map. If you look at that kill feed, he's getting the first kill in every single round, and then from there it's just Jaden, Noel, and company getting the rest and just chaining it all together. I mean, that is as seamless as it gets for a team on this map.
Yeah, I mean, we said that maybe they haven't been chaining anything together, but that was a really good round there that they just need to pick apart Legends of Six Gold, and again, maybe slightly more of an aggressor round than what we've seen so far, and perhaps now will they recognize that that's a strategy that suits them, as they once again seem to be flooding towards that mid. Will they read it's over towards B this time around? Legend of Six Gold, again, being a bit slow on it, letting Drew kind of go around the outside of the water to try and get towards that back spawn. But you can see the setup is there ready and waiting as Marco once again with that first blood. Such an important player for Legends of Six White side.
So much value out of having a player like this on your team. Still the approach over towards B, and we've seen this with Legends of Six Gold where they will let that time kind of just tick away on the attacker side until they have the opening that they desperately need. Getting that bomb planted, but don't have a lot of information, especially on where Noel is going to be playing here, and the value that could be gained out of this positioning, it is incredible. This rotation does begin. Marco spotted out. Drew able to get some chip shots out. Not going to be able to get the kill to take away, though. And now things start to get very mixy on the point as the player personnel disadvantage. And the white in the feed sings true. The body shots out of Marco. Not only is he a key player, but he is a nasty one in this lobby.
Has he just found every single body and shot it? Like, that retention of memory, just to remember where you've even dropped the bodies, just astounds me. But yeah, Marco's definitely been a key player, and it feels like now Legends of Six White have just figured out how to play against this opposition. It feels like it just took them a few rounds to get into the swing of things, understand how the goal side wanted to play, and they've altered their gameplay to suit it perfectly. They're letting them take the plants and then just retaking, and then also getting aggressive when they have some offensive efforts. Whatever they're doing now just seems to be working, and it's up to the goal side now to make a change up. They don't have much time left to do it.
Might just come out of being a little bit more aggressive, and just the timing as well. You've got to speed it up ever so slightly. It just feels like Legends of Six White are operating on another plane. Legends of Six Gold, they're going to have to find something.
And again, this round has slowed down a little bit in terms of the actual engagement, but they've gotten onto the site quick and getting the bomb down. And we have seen quite a number of retakes from a bomb going down, but with a 4v4 onto a way easier site to defend, in my opinion, I don't know if they're going to get the chance to hit a break here unless they get kills quick, which is exactly what they've done. Drew and Danny Mac for 2. Mansion's picking up 1. Is now Buddha gets in and hopping straight on this defuse in a 1v2. It could be the strategy, and it is another site retake. Both of these teams having a really torrid time defending a bomb site once it goes down.
And you see, the difference in that round is the fact that Marco did not pick up that first kill. It just feels like a whole round and the whole chain of the game can really be deciphered based on whether he gets that man advantage for his team. To be fair, I mean, the site was completely given up to them, but when you don't get that first kill, when you don't get that man advantage, you start to see the Legends of Six White players not necessarily have as much command. It gives a little bit of room for the Legends of Six Gold to operate. Now down by just 1, and the question becomes, will Marco be able to find that first kill? Potentially thwart the attack ever so slightly. Instead, it's actually Noel. First kill on the board granted their way. Now Marco getting active in the waters, and we talked about how awful these waters can be. As Drew just barely able to buy his time.
Yeah, Marco almost kind of gifted him his life back there in that scenario thanks to the water, but still a 4v2 scenario. He successfully read that B push, and now Legends of Six Gold are floundering here towards this B side. That bomb is also down. It's now a 4v1, and it is all up to Buddha, who's not going to be able to do much here, it seems, as Legends of Six White are going to tighten their grip around, but not before Buddha at least gets 1 kill when he's about to get surrounded in this point, and that's it.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time. Legends of Six White now on map point. 5-3. It's not over until it is over, but again, it's that early kill that they continuously seem to be able to find. That's really being the separating factor here, and I think it maybe stems a little bit from the fact that Legends of Six Gold a little bit less aggressive from time to time. They're a little bit more calculated with their aggression, but sometimes you just kind of got to go balls to the wall and, you know, F it, we ball type things. Yeah,
literally, sometimes you just gotta get pushed up, get aggressive, and, you know, it just isn't working for them so far in what they're doing. And I think Legends of Six Gold, they have run out of time now to make the changes. They gotta play perfect from here on in, and we haven't really seen them alter much of their gameplay here to how Legends of Six White want to play, as they seem to just want to take this bomb straight up mid now, and did do some damage but no kills. And now rotating over to this B, a great strat. They made it look like it was a mid to A. Now they're hitting that B, and you can see in the map Gold rotated towards that A. Nothing there though, and now they have a free plant, but again, we'll need another retake, and potentially Drew could come in here and stop it as he made the read to turn around. But that bomb goes down, but he picks up the first blood. Massive first blood to get.
Massive mind games out of the white players, but Gold able to gain that early player personnel advantage. Now they have a little bit of room to operate with, trying to break their way back into this B point. Noel, the first line of defense as Mansions gets active as well with the Renetti in hand. Noel does drop though, so Mansions gonna have to put the team on his back. He does exactly that, and my goodness, Legends of Six White, bang, 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 bring themselves the map 6-3.
Well, my God, we just talked about the bomb site defenses not being all there from these teams, but we were shut up in that moment. What a defense. 3v4 down, that bomb was down, and yet they defended immaculately. Legends of Six Gold got aggressive, but got gunned down in the process. A great win for Legends of Six White, who go 2-0 up in this series.
And again, we talked about the fact that we wanted to see the gold players maybe get a little bit more aggressive. So seeing what happens when they get more aggressive, and Legends of Six White just able to completely capitalize on the aggression, that is a very concerning potentially in the grand scope of this series, but now tasked with having to pull off the reverse sweep, whereas Legends of Six White can end it here and now on the invasion control.
Yeah, Legends of Six White, I think in these maps, they have been hard fought. I think that's where the white side are going to shine. I think they're going to be able to have an aggressive offensive attempt and have that work well for them and at least get some ticks on A. And I think that'll be the difference maker for them.
Another difference maker potentially here is Marco. Again, he has been such a tone setter for this Legends of Six White squad. If he can get active, if he can get things going early on in this map, you start to look at Legends of Six Gold and you start to say, hey, who can mirror that? So far, it feels like we haven't necessarily had a direct mirror to that gunny, to that prowess. Now the question becomes, hey, what do Legends of Six Gold have up in their sleeve? Luckily starting off on the attacker's side, so a lot of room to potentially set the tone early on, making the approach over towards that B site, but going to be denied, at least for the time being, from Legends of Six White.
And it's already looking like Legends of Six White might be in a position to orchestrate some sort of spawn trap as Mansions is absolutely popping off. No intention of stopping, but Danny Mac stops him nonetheless. And now they'll have another chance to hit over towards this B with Drew having some tentative peeks over towards A, but deciding against it and peeking in that courtyard, picking up one. And just looking at this checkerboard of kill feed, but no real dents being made beyond even getting past the spawn, past that courtyard, past Ice Cream. It's just a complete hold down here from Legends of Six White, who've already established such a map dominance. Even when they go 1 or 2 down, they rotate into the right positions to keep it covered. In Legends of Six Gold, they're struggling to find a way in.
Such an aggressive approach, and when Noel drops, Jaden picks up right where he left off. Now Buddha, though, has an opportunity to gain some time, make the push back on in, but he's going to be met with some resistance in a matter of moments, so this hill still very much alive for Legends of Six White. Noel with the Kobe will take them off the time, and now this kill becomes huge, and Cheeseburger might have just saved it for Legends of Six Gold with 19 seconds left on the clock. Yes, they still have to get that time. They still have to hold, and there's definitely room for the white players to make an approach on in, but it's just a matter of the gunny here and now.
Yeah, well, I think Legends of Six White might be happy to give up this B with those pushes not quite working out. Drew getting a big 2 and Buddha making it 3. I was about to say they've given themselves quite a strong life advantage with the amount of lives left going for an A capture with only 1:10 left, but that has been nullified by a nice 3 from the gold side. But now only a minute to make a couple of pushes and a big 2 already from Legends of Six White, who might be able to shut this down, make that a 3, and now I just think it's going to be a case of they're just going to pick up kills here and there, nullify a push or 2 and run down this clock. But all it takes is one solid break as Legends of Six Gold get a couple of strong kills and we'll get move up quickly. But Marco Stallion going big with 1. He'll need to get the second one to try and slow this push even more, and he goes for the push, getting a good bit of COD timing working out in his favor. Now 8v12, Legends of Six White are holding on to this A point well.
This A point is so difficult to take if you are on the attacker side as well. Life disparity as well going the way of Legends of Six White. They have 4 extra lives, 4 full respawns, 1 for each player. Looks like things with the time in mind might be out of the cards here unless Legends of Six Gold can find the kills to justify the push. They have to play it picture perfect from this point forward. Just 5 lives remaining, but they've whittled down the lives from Legends of Six White. Can they get into this point? Can this be the team deathmatch win that they so desperately are looking for in this time? 2 seconds though, they have to touch here and now. They won't be able to. Legends of Six White are able to take it with just 3 ticks the way of Legends of Six Gold.
Well, again, maybe looking a little bit dangerous there for the side of Legends of Six White for a little bit towards the end, but ultimately doing enough to hold them off and not get a single tick gone on that A, which is going to be an all-important factor to keep in mind. So, you know, as we go into this next round, they know as long as they get more than 3 ticks, they're doing a good job, and they might get that with a quick A push if they decide to go for it here.
You alluded to that A push. I'm a big fan of prioritizing A, and it looks like that's exactly what Legends of Six White might do. Obviously, this hill, very, very difficult to take on in, so if you can get a little bit of time up on this hill, you get those respawns over towards B. If you lose out on it, you virtually have that B point because you have to allocate so many of your defense over towards A. Noel, the COD timing is real, unfortunately not going to play in his direction, but so much aggression over towards this A site, and the kills are starting to justify as Legends of Six White finding their way onto the A point. And it looks like Legends of Six Gold are going to have a very tough time making the break back on in. With the B side as well going progress, oh my goodness, Legends of Six White, you have to pick one if you're the gold.
I don't know how Jade managed to get that kill on that point. Like, he's ultimately taken off it, but I don't even know how he got close to that point. A massive 2-piece to go in and make it dangerous at A, but by making dangerous at A, he's cleared up B. As it looks like they're only going to really focus one person on it. They have a lot of trust in Noel here to pick up these gunfights as Marco Stallion just about misses out on one, but that is 3 down regardless. You'd like to think that B point is all but gone, and they're already setting up to keep them penned back in their spawn and work towards that A. Marco Stallion popping off, but not able to pick up that kill as Danny Mac holds the fort down the back. 18v22 now, with that A point needing to be captured even on the ticks, but Legend of Six White are looking like the stronger side here so far.
That information overload, it kind of overloaded my brain personally, but the information overload strategy there executed to perfection grants them that B point, and now still feeling that pressure over towards A is the gold players, as they have to recenter and re-rotate back on in to provide that defense that is so desperately needed. Danny Mac going down, maybe providing a little bit of an opening for the Legends of Six White players to start to funnel in, but Buddha getting active in the back lines is going to be a key glue piece for the gold players to hold on to things. Still, life disparity definitely in favor of Legends of Six White.
Yeah, it's in favor of Legends of Six White, but they're going to want to get on that point and guarantee some ticks at least, because they could do them on the lives, but those ticks are going to matter more to them. 9v15 now, and it looks like they are getting more advanced onto this point as well. As you look at Mansions versus Danny Mac in the point, it's going to be Danny Mac that wins it now. 18v13 with 1 minute 5 left on the clock. It's looking good for Legends of Six White, but they need to keep up the aggression as Legends of Six Gold will try and fall back and hold point from more of a distance to protect those lives. But they're actually picking up some nice kills there, but that was a big loss. Jaden with one, Mansions with another. Now 4v11. It looks like this round could be going the way of the white side.
You almost want to delay those kills, if anything, if you are the white side, because you want to get that first tick of progress at least on the board. 3 lives remaining. It kind of turns into a Call of Duty Zombies thing where you kind of want to keep the crawler alive. That way you can gain that extra tick of progress, gain the tick advantage as well. A little bit less aggression being seen here. 30 seconds left. Legends of Six White don't have a whole lot that they need to do to secure this map, secure this round. Marco looking to take down Cheeseburger does exactly that. That just leaves Drew, the last player standing. Mansions will be dropped, but it will ultimately go the way of Legends of Six White. So we mirror each other out. No, in fact, I was looking at the wrong thing. We get 2-0 Legends of Six White.
Yeah, Legends of Six White, they're looking really strong in this map. And again, I think the gold team are putting up an incredibly good fight. I genuinely think it just comes down to, at the end of the day, the white just have slightly more to give in terms of these maps, can vary their gameplay slightly more, win more gunfights that they wouldn't be expected to win. And then from there, just have a bit of overall control and dominance. I think gold, they're always close. They always have certain moments where they just need a moment or two of brilliance to be able to pull it back and potentially sneak around or sneak a map, but ultimately just not setting themselves up enough, not being enough of a dominant force consistently to be able to see themselves through any of these maps, and now finding themselves in a position where they'll have to win an offense against a team that's really feeling their defensive efforts. And it's a very uphill battle now for Legends of Six Gold, but that doesn't mean they're not going to give it a try.
And they're trying to mirror out that A approach strategy, get a lot of clearance over towards B. They'll do exactly that, which is going to give them a lot of time. Assuming Legends of Six White cannot make the reapproach back on in, it's going to have to come down to Marco Stallion to really get things swinging back the way over towards B. He's not going to be able to do that on your mini-map. Instead, Legends of Six Gold have the clearance. They have that B site. 2 minutes left to work with here. And as you said, this attacker side round is absolutely imperative that they take it. 25-21, life disparity definitely going their way in the early stretch as well. We've seen Legends of Six White swing it back very, very easily. Let's take a look at it.
tree side, bro.
I'm helping you. Yo, Mark, you can rotate left if you want.
Okay.
I have you now.
There's still a guy tree side, bro.
Yeah, I'm just holding it.
I don't see him. I'm trying to push up mid tank.
I got all of B street right now. He could go treehouse though.
They got the B tree spawn.
Top
Mid tank,
blue, top blue on me.
I hear you, top blue. He's low blue. Shit on. That's three.
I'll check the
Okay, you
treehouse.
can push up right. You can push up right, Jay.
I am.
We're just looking for one.
I'm helping you. I'm gonna come up your right. They're probably gonna be here fast.
I'm clearing treehouse real quick because I was here. I don't see shit.
I'm pinning up right. I'm hitting up right. I can kill this
Two
kid.
formation. Ice cream door
Got
now.
one.
Back left house, probably. DMAC. Looking for Buddha and DMAC.
I have street, Mark.
Yeah, I'm sitting in
That's the guy
that
roaming. That's the guy
screen.
roaming.
Yo, 1 on A.
Yeah, it's the guy roaming. It's still. They stunned him. He has no
He's
kill.
still back palace
Good
wall,
2A,
bro.
guys,
This kid is a
2A,
bot.
2A.
Alright, I hear you.
Nader on A.
Yeah,
Nader
yeah.
on there.
Up by 2. Last guy was all the way back palace wall being a fucking cred.
Yeah.
Top 250 sitting back palace wall, bro. I wonder what you're doing at home, buddy.
What do you guys
I'm
have?
picking up right.
I'm watching all your dark. I have
Right, dead. I got dark. One more right side. He's hitting the right side street cheeseburger with a sub.
2 you're on me. One's from blue and one's in DVD.
Lost that to a sub.
Alright, they're gonna.
Yo, he's
push you
DVD
right.
cap
Yeah,
right now,
I hear,
cap.
I hear. I'm wrapping out left. I'm trying to play close to A point.
He's with our
I got Dill in the back. I got Dill in the back. Small.
Yeah,
Yeah, small one fire.
Where'd you fire? Average. One's deep. Deep on the white car.
I don't see him.
Small, Drew, dead.
Fire car. Fuck. Fire car on white car. Fire car with a sub.
White car dead.
Nice. Good. 3. Bill's running. Bill's last guy.
I hear you. I killed Dill.
Okay. We're looking for one now. It's only 3.
He's all spawn, but he's not roaming.
We're gonna go dark.
I'm running this shit!
Come on.
Freezer.
Did you hit freezer already? You pushed
He
it
didn't
in?
go straight. He did not go
Yo,
straight.
yo, mid P1. Done.
Oh, no, I'm stunned.
Oh, no, I'm nading our side. Yeah, I naded us on our side.
Outside though, son. Child's fucking critter.
He's
dude.
stunned.
Pretty weak shit thing!
Oh, sorry, guys.
I have your whole front hit. Yeah, one's A sneak.
Yeah, one
Shut
more mid tank. He's wrapping right P1 Eddie.
Oh, middle me. Weak cap. Real small. It's absolute small. Kill him. Still running. Oh my god, man. Come on, bro.
There's a fucking reason I'm on that.
Those are some mint communications there, everybody. Legends of Six White, a 3-0 on control to close. And oh, those comms. There's a lot to say there, Zep.
I mean, listen, there's one thing that you absolutely cannot deny is present throughout the entirety of that Y side, and that is the passion. The passion was flowing through their veins. 21-19, 25-18, and then Marco, 28-18. The Stallion carrying them through. But what a team effort from Legends of Six White, who just seemed to really wrap their hands around this series as a whole, corrected the mistakes of the sub-base hardpoint, pulled themselves back into it with confidence in the 6-star search and destroy, and then ran through the goal side on invasion control. A completely dominant performance of a team feeling themselves in the confidence, and what an entertaining series to watch.
And again, what a way to exemplify it. You saw the body shots throughout the entire series as well. These kids, they've got moxie, and they are sure as hell to bring it.